I am going to call an audible here, my friends, and we are going to just pick up exactly where the last video left off. And you can see I've still got show standby up there. And we know for switch 2, we know that both switches have preemption enabled at this point. We know the priority is 105 on switch 2 and 100, the default, on switch 1. Let's see what happens, though, when that default decrement isn't enough. We know that's 10. We've got to have that memorized. But let's set switch 2's priority for this group to 150. And we'll verify that. I was waiting for a message. There we go. Show standby. We see priority 150, configured 150 right here at the bottom. So everything is beautiful. Now, I know that you know right now what is not going to happen if Fast Ethernet 3 gets closed again, but let's do it anyway just to see what the deal is, what exactly is going to happen. And we'll shut her down. And we immediately get the tracking state message, you know, hey, I'm tracking this interface, Fast Ethernet 3, the line protocol has gone from up to down. Then we get the usual messages, the system console message, the port's gone administratively down, and then of course if the physical state is down, we know the line protocol doesn't have long to go, but nothing else is happening. We're not seeing any state changes, router 1, switch 1 doesn't seem to have taken over. So what's the problem? Well, we know it's that decrement. Let's go ahead and run show standby. And we can see that the decrement took place. You know, there's priority 140 configured 150. Well, if we're using the default decrement, though, that's 10. And 150 minus 10 is definitely not lower than 100, and that's what we need for router 1 to take over. So in this case, if the priority is set to 150, the decrement needs to be at least 51, right? So let's go ahead and configure that. And we're going to go under VLAN 100. Let's see if we can do it this way. With the up arrow. Tracking command. How far back do we go? There we go. So now we're going to use that decrement value we saw earlier, because we can set this from 1 to 255. It's just that we took the default of 10 earlier. So what we'll do here is set it to 51. And it does actually take place immediately because, of course, the interface is still shut down. So all we did just now was tell the router, hey, if that interface, and I know I keep going back and forth router to switch with HSRP, if that interface goes down, I don't want you to subtract 10 from the priority of this device. I want you to subtract 51. So that's the difference right now, and you can see it took effect immediately. And we'll run show standby. And we see right here at the bottom, you know, here's priority 99, configured 150, track interface, Fast Ethernet 3, the state is down, and the decrement is 51. Does this happen in the real world a lot? Not a ton. It's a good thing to know for your exams, job interviews, that kind of thing, practice exams. Most of the time, you're just going to leave your HSRP devices at the default, but you may run into situations where you need to change the decrement a little bit along with the priority. So let's go ahead and open that interface back up. And since we still have preemption on switch 2, I believe, there's interface changed to down. Yep. There's again the tracking state message. The line protocol on that interface has gone from down to up. State goes from standby to active. We run show standby anyway because we always trust, but we always verify. Well, we mostly trust. We mostly trust, but we do always verify. And you can see again, active router is local. Standby router is the other switch. So we are in fantastic shape there. That is how you change the default decrement in interface tracking. It does become it is an important skill to have. So definitely something you want to watch out for in your troubleshooting and on exam day. Speaking of important things to know how to do, the next section is a little bit of dis or dat, as my nephew calls it. It's a little bit of this and that with HSRP. There are little things you need to be able to change that aren't going to be huge labs by themselves. So I'm going to put them all in one video, and you'll see how to change, or we can change the MAC address if we wanted to, but a couple of other things that you might want to change in here that just take one command. So we will wrap up HSRP on the very next video. See you there.